What's going on YouTube? Trevor B. West here. Today I am filming from Talheim, Switzerland. Really small town. I'm staying in a place called the Towner Bear, which is why I got the boys with me here today. But I'm adding to my video series about how to find and interview your real estate investing team. I've already talked about an investor savvy real estate agent, already talked about a property manager. Now I'm going to be breaking down how to find and interview a contractor, which can be a pretty scary part of this business and super important. Mainly because we've heard all the stories of people walking away with your money, not finishing the job, not doing the job correctly. So it's super important to find somebody that you really trust here, because at times you'll be giving them a pretty sizable portion of money, depending on your strategy, to get a job done. So I'm going to be dropping some good knowledge on how to find and interview these guys and gals. So let's take a look. Before we get into the interview process, of course, we need to understand how to find these guys. And I talk about it in most of my videos. Nothing has really changed. Leverage your network. Find people who are doing what you're doing and get contacts from them. Biggerpockets, real estate meetups, in person or virtually, Facebook groups focused on real estate investing. And of course, if you want to do zero contact, zero references, you can go to Google and find good reviews on contractors in your local area. Now that you have about 3 or 4 of these contractors lined up and ready to be interviewed, what should you do to prepare? I recommend having a super general idea of the cost of materials are in your specific area. You can do this by going to Lowe's, Home Depot, talking to other investors in your market just to see what the common numbers are thrown around. This gives you more information and more education on when you're having conversations with these contractors so they don't take you for a ride. And when you choose a contractor or multiple contractors that you like and you're physically walking properties, when they start throwing out numbers, you kind of have an idea of who's charging more and who's charging less. And another thing that you can do to prepare is simply just go to their website. Does it look clean? Does it look professional? Are there pictures on there? And the same thing with their social media. Pictures, are they responsive? Is it the type of work that you're looking to have done? And also Google reviews. You can go on there and see the types of things that people are leaving about them. Any information that you have on these individuals before you get on the call is only going to serve you. And what you do with that information is you use it in the call, of course, for one, and then you compare it to the other conversations that you have with different contracting companies. Also, understanding the difference between a licensed and unlicensed contractor is really important. A licensed contractor or a general contractor or GC is probably going to have a crew or multiple crews, which means they have more flexibility and will likely get to your job faster. They'll probably also be bonded and insured, which means if they do something to the property that wasn't supposed to happen, they have insurance. If someone gets hurt on that job site, they have insurance. Also, by being a licensed contractor, they have a brand that they are representing. They have a company that they're trying to grow. So if something isn't done right the first time, they'll probably be pretty motivated to get it done right the second time. So general contractors do charge a little more in price because of those things. They have their license that costs money to get. They have to have insurance for each member on their crew, but ultimately it pays off to be able to pay these guys and make sure that the job gets done right the first or hopefully the second time. An unlicensed contractor is not always worlds different from a general contractor, but sometimes they are. Sometimes they have their own crews, but sometimes if it's a job that's small enough, they'll do the work themselves. They are not bonded or insured, and sometimes you need to really be on them to get the work done the right way, and it might take longer, especially if they're not working with a crew or their crew is just really small. But on the plus side, a lot of times these guys, these unlicensed contractors, are charging less for materials and less for labor. Now we're getting to the point to where we're on the phone with these guys, and a quick game plan recommendation that I have is let them know who the property manager is that you might be working with. Let them know who the real estate agents are that you're working with. This might strike up a mutual connection, and let them know that you're already involved in the market and you're not going to be wasting their time. Also, let them know what types of deals you're doing. You don't want to be on the phone with somebody for 15 minutes just to find out that they only do new builds and you're into renovation projects. All right, we have found ourselves at question number 1, which is, are you a licensed contractor? Let's hit them with it right out of the gate. Here you can ask for their license just to make sure that it's active and in the right state. Also, licensed contractor means that they're insured. What type of insurance are you using? We want to make sure we cover all the bases for any unforeseen incidents. Question number 2 is, do you have a crew? And how long have you run this crew and how many people are on it? This gives you a pretty good idea of their experience level as well as how their company works. There's nothing wrong with a one-man show, but if you're on a tight timeline or it's a bigger job, that might not be the right fit. Question number 3 is asking where their expertise lies when it comes to renovations. What types of deals are they used to working on? Some contractors do really high-end renovation work and some work on D and C class style properties. It all comes down to your specific strategy and where you're going to be buying properties to match that up with the right contractor. Question number 4 is always a fun one, and you can ask, can you show me some of your most recent work or some of your previous jobs and provide me some references? The proof is in the pudding, folks. If they can provide you with phenomenal references and the pictures to match, I'd say we're on a good path. Question number 5 builds right off of question 4, which asks, how many jobs are you currently doing right now? And if you're local, ask if you can come and see those jobs in person, which will give you a good idea of what their sites look like. And try to come at an undisclosed time. That way they aren't able to prepare for your arrival and make things look a little cleaner than they normally are. Along that same line of questioning, how many deals can you handle at one time? Remember, time is money and that money is your profit. So hold contractors accountable to the timelines that they set that a job's going to be completed. But also realize a contractor that doesn't have any ongoing jobs is probably an issue, considering contractors usually don't have any trouble getting work. But also, a contracting company that has too many jobs could also pose a problem for how long it takes for them to get to your project, how long it takes for them to complete that project. Questions 6 and 7 are a little tougher to have with people on the phone, but remember, it's important to gain confidence in having tough conversations with contractors because they're the ones that are handling your money and handling your investment and also making sure that you hit the numbers that you evaluated you needed to hit. So asking questions like, have you ever filed for bankruptcy? And or have you ever had any legal action taken against you? This just gets you in the right frame of mind to know that you are moving forward with confidence with someone that, if they have been in those types of situations, have a very reasonable explanation for them. And of course, if they've never found themselves in any hot water, that they are building a company that is reputable. Question number 8 and our final question, you know me, it is communication. How often are you going to be communicating with me that my project is moving along steadily, or if there's issues? And how are you going to communicate with me? Email, phone call, text? These types of things are important, especially for those of you who are traveling, out-of-state investors, newer investors who don't have that trust built up with a new contractor, because as they're going through that renovation process is how you build that trust. So stay on top of them, make sure they understand how you like to communicate, and move forward with a contracting team that you know, like, and trust and can do multiple deals with. All right, guys, that is the final video of my video series on how to build your real estate investing team. We talked about the core folks involved: an investor savvy real estate agent, a property manager, and a contractor. I'm still going to be putting out content about other individuals involved in the process, but I hope you guys got something out of this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell that notifies you when I've released a new video, because there's more content coming. I look forward to seeing you next time.